Lonna Kelly, and this is Hudson Valley Art Speak, and thank you for watching today. We're going to be talking to Alan Ripin, and Alan's a writer, and he's written a series of books called Nuns on a Chain Gang. Hi, Alan.
Hi, Lonna. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming today.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your books. How did you get started as a writer?
Well, I'll tell you the exact date. It was December 26th, day after Christmas, 2009, coming home in the car from Rhode Island, and said to Christina, take out a pad and pencil and start writing. and by that trip, I had about 15 one-liners of stuff you never ever see, and that's basically the theme of the three books. They're all one-liners, and 1,000. I don't know how after book one I said that's it, and obviously it wasn't.
So that's so things you never see are, of course, one thing is Nuns on a Chain Gang, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it just comes to you?
I don't want to admit that, but yeah. But since I stopped, it doesn't come. So I consciously would think about things to put down, and sometimes they would come and sometimes they wouldn't.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I've heard other authors say that their characters speak to them, or it just comes to them, and they kind of sit down and write it.
Yeah, it seemed like when I was walking, that generated more stuff.
Yeah, but did you remember it when you got back? When you got back to the house?
I was walking at home. If I don't go out, I just walk from room to room, and then Christina's there, my wife, and I run it by her, and go with it.
Yeah. Did you write the books longhand, or did you? Because you told me you just got a computer, right? You just got
a new computer.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was your first computer.
No. Originally, yes, I would write longhand and then put them. When I found a publisher, which I self-published, I would either communicate with them on the phone or through the computer. Yeah.
Right. And so before you started writing, what did you do? Did you something that prepared you? Were you
Well, 32 years in New York City government would gives you a sense of why the city is so wacky. No, my background, actually, my grandfather's first cousin was a Rogers brother who was way before our time, but they were comparable to Martin and Lewis in their day.
Really?
So somewhere.
Really? So they did burlesque? Or?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and comedy. So somewhere in my genes, something was lurking.
Yeah.
And what made me write? One word: Zoloft.
Zoloft?
Really? No, seriously.
Yeah.
I probably had it all stored up in me, but when you're in a depressed state, it doesn't all come out. And once we sorted that out, the chemical problems, yeah.
You found your groove. It started to write. That's
exactly.
Great. Yeah. It's interesting then that you turned to comedy. to,
Well, that was very natural, yeah. And the reason I did it was I just felt that humor is needed, and especially in these wacky times. And comedy is a very personal thing, just like pizza. Some like it, thick crust, toppings, whatever. And comedy, my particular preference is I like slapstick. I like guys like Dangerfield, Stephen Wright, if you know him, the one-liners, just stuff that you can relate to life that's just funny.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this and about the fact that you said you have 1,000 one-liners. How I can't even imagine being able to sustain that, to keep coming up with new ideas and different ideas about it.
Good point. Like I say, after book 1, which was give or take 300 one-liners, I said, nah, that's it. And then they just kept coming. and the reactions, of course, were varied. But I don't expect to get everybody's preference. It's just,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So you've done some book signings. How does that go when you set that up? Do you do a book reading? Do you read some of the book and?
You have to like being alone, number one, because the ones that, frankly, if you don't have a name or a following, and then with all due respect, if you were Oprah or Dave Letterman, I'd be made. But
That's right.
it's tough. There are so many titles out there. It's very difficult, and I just really did it for pleasure. I didn't expect to, for the thing to take off at all monetarily.
Right. What did anything about the whole process surprise you, other than all of a sudden this coming to you? What about?
Well, the self-publishing. I didn't know anything about the area, so I got a book written by the so-called guru of self-publishing, and in reading it, she would match up certain genres to a particular publisher. Lo and behold, comedy was not one of the genres, so I emailed her saying, this is this is where I'm going. Can you suggest a match? And she did, and it was a perfect marriage. They were terrific.
Really?
Create Space, very helpful, very creative. In the first book, the cover was done by my wife, and every page is a different format, which I didn't request, but they just, upon themselves, did a different design for every facing page.
Oh, so they actually designed the book for you?
They did.
Yeah.
And very nicely. Yeah. No, it was a good experience, and very much within economic, you would think, oh my God, it's going to cost a fortune.
Yeah.
No, it was under $1,000 for the whole package.
Really?
Yeah.
And is that for a certain number of books, or do they print them on demand?
You get, I think, like 25 with the package, and then you purchase on your own according to the need. But it was just a very nice marriage. They were terrific and very helpful.
So your next book might be about how to write a comedy book and get it published.
No, actually, the last entry in book 3 is Things You'll Never See. Nuns on a Chain Gang 4. And that, yeah, that's 1,000, yeah, that's it.
That's it, huh? So do you envision a different book, something new?
I haven't really given it any thought. But yeah, you know, quit while I'm ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you were in Florida this winter, weren't you?
Sure.
I bet that that's like a whole different source of inspiration, you know, going to a different part of the country, seeing people, you know, a different population, really,
yeah.
you know, different things that are going
I'm hesitating
on.
because I'm heading down there again this year, and I don't want to. No, they were great.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, this, you know, humor again is regional.
Yes.
My wife is English, and the humor is very different there.
Yes. Yes.
So, but yeah, I as you know, an observer of people looking for humor. Yeah,
Mhm.
surely the
Yeah.
Southern element
Yeah.
gives you a whole new study.
One of the my parents live in Florida, and one of the first times I went down to visit my mother down there, she had joined a play group, and they used to put on plays, and
Sure.
and we were sitting there in the audience and heard a crash, and everybody jumped up, and the cameraman had just. And it's in a retirement village. You know,
Right.
the cameraman had passed out. I was like, oh my God, is the poor man dead? But he
Yeah.
wasn't, fortunately.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just, but that's what I was thinking when I said different humor. I mean, you just see so many things that are just so crazy. You know, if you catch them and can capture them, they're pretty
Absolutely.
funny.
Well, yeah, that's what I looked for, and kind of across the board. The books are irreverent, but there are no George Carlin words
Right, yes,
in
yes.
them. But I mean, there's stuff in it that, as the English say, I take the Mickey. You know, from Obama on down.
Yeah, yeah. So the books are available on Amazon, you said?
They are.
Yeah.
I would. That would be the best place to go.
Yeah.
There's, you know, a whole presentation of personal reviews that I've gotten, and they kind of summarize each book.
Let me just ask you really quickly,
Sure.
because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
What was your favorite review? Or what did you get a review that was really funny that you
From family or?
I know what your family said.
You know, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
They were coming from all different directions.
Yeah.
You know, some liked the humor, some liked the fact that it was a very wide expanse of,
Yeah.
of humor. So it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Any
difficult.
nuns?
Oh, no.
Any nuns? Alan, thanks so much.
Oh, thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
Yeah, yeah.